How's it going? All right. All right. Wrestle Popcast presents Beyond the Bell. My guest is Logan Blackhart. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
I heard you were in the wrestling business since you were 3 years old.
I don't know if I'd say I was in the business at 3 years old, but my father certainly was about 3 or 4 years old. He got his start working behind the scenes at War Wrestling in Lima. I believe the first job he ever had was putting up chairs. And I don't know how long it was after that before he started becoming an on-screen personality. But yeah, since about 3 or 4 years old, he's always been doing it, and I've always been around it.
All right. So when you got a little bit older, what really influenced you to train to be a pro wrestler?
I think growing up around it, I was always committed, I'm going to do this. And then it was when it was my 16th birthday, my dad hit me with a dilemma. I can either get a car or I can go to wrestling training. I chose wrestling training, and I didn't get my license till 2 years later. And so he would actually and I'm about 2 hours away from where Cody trains at here in Hamilton. So he would drive 2 hours one way 2 times a week so I could train for 2 hours, 3 hours every week.
All right. So besides being in the ring as well, you go to college and you major in English.
Yeah, I am majoring in English right now. I was never a good student in high school, but in college I have a 3.6 GPA, hashtag humble brag. And I'm actually going to go for a PhD in English so I can be professor.
That's awesome. And also you are thinking about doing some writing as well, like writing a comic book or maybe teaching a comic book class in college.
Yeah, I want, with my PhD, I hope to become a university
Hi, I'm
professor.
Billy!
Hi, Billy. God bless Billy.
Yeah, gotta love Billy.
But with my PhD, I hope to be a university professor and actually teaching on the subject of comic book, because that's another thing I've always been around. So.
Now, I heard a story about, tell me a little bit about the origin of Space Invader, how that came to be.
So my very first show I was ever on, still in training, hadn't technically completed it. Cody was putting together a show, and I was going to be in a battle royal, but I was still 17, probably 16 at the time. So I wore this oversized Gene Simmons, ugly Gene Simmons mask, and a plain black singlet I got at Dunham's. It was awful. I hope there's no video of it. But at that show, I got to the back. My mask was everywhere during the match. I'm taking it off, and someone back there, I think his name was Tyler, who had retired and just come back for the show, was like, "Hey, you need that mask too big for you?" I was like, "Yeah, here." And he drew me his old gear that he was no longer using, and it was black, purple, and gold. So I got that gear, and I was told, come up with a gimmick. Think about the gimmick. Think about it real hard. Think of something really good, and I didn't. I did not think about it for 2 weeks. And in a spur of a moment, someone asked me, did you come up with a gimmick yet? I lied. I said yes. I didn't come up with a gimmick. And they asked me, what's the gimmick? Space Invader? And that's how Space Invader. It was a spur of a moment decision just based off of the colors, and it stuck.
Okay. Hey, it did. You did pretty good being Space Invader from the Atari system.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward a little bit towards, FGW as well. Mm-hmm. What decided you to hang up the Space Invader mask and become Logan Blackhart?
I really wanted something out of the mask. I wanted to be more expressive with myself facially, and want to be someone closer, less of a cartoon character and more of myself turned up to 10. So with Brandon Day, he's just recently just recently left FGW. He was here, and wrestling and working with him is what inspired me to take myself to that next level.
And so what does Ripper think of that, you carrying on the Blackhart name?
Actually, he didn't know I was going to do it till like the show of. I just didn't communicate that with him. I wasn't really thinking.
Did he have that surprised look?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I was literally, the first time he knew I was going to use his name, I was literally just in the ring cutting a promo, and he heard it. And it's like, oh, I guess he's using the name. But yeah, it just felt like the natural thing to do, and he's been supportive of it.
That's pretty good. So where do we see Logan Blackhart at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020 with Future Great Wrestling?
Hopefully you'll see him pushing to the main event picture. After that match with Brandon, I really feel invigorated. I feel like I've slowly reaching a higher level than I have before, and I intend to keep pushing myself like that.
So do you see yourself getting the Future Great Wrestling Championship title because you were the first champ, longest reigning champ?
I see myself going after it. I don't know. I won't make any promises, but I'm definitely not gonna be as passive as Space Invader was.
All right. Thank you so much. This has been Beyond the Bell. Logan Blackhart, Robin Nelson. Everyone have a good night.